Well, hello to you all. I'm excited that you are joining us for an introduction and walkthrough to your Indian Trails Public Library District account. This is going to be a great way for you to take advantage of the library's resources and management of your account when you are not in the building, so you don't always have to maybe wait for us to be available on the phone or have to come into the building to have us do some maintenance on your account. You can be a little bit more independent and take care of that on your own. If you weren't already aware, we do also have our library app. We did hear some feedback that we wanted an app back to our avid users. And so now we have something back at your fingertips. So feel free to go to the Indian Trails Public Library page and learn more about the application if you don't already have it. And while the interface for the library app will be different than the way you log on through the internet browser, the content is definitely still very much the same, or the ideas behind them. So we'll go ahead and start with management of your account. You'll start at the home page, and in the top right corner, you'll click My Account. And when you click My Account, you're going to be prompted to log into your Indian Trails library account using your library card number or username. So if you haven't used this account before, then you more than likely have never created a username. So you want to go ahead and use your Indian Trails library card number that starts with the 2112500. You're going to go ahead and type that in here. It's going to be your library card number, and your PIN is the last four digits of your phone number that we have on file. If that doesn't work out for you, then you want to go ahead and give us a call. We can help make sure that the PIN is correct and reset it. If you're in the building, we can also take care of that at the circulation desk or at the adult services desk for you. So now we're going to start with being logged into the Indian Trails account. So on the top level, you'll see on the left, it's My Account. And the first thing that you have access to is just kind of looking at the personal information on your account here. So you can get the name of the library card that it is, the last four digits of your card number, a username, and like we discussed, if you don't have a username because you haven't used this information before, it's going to say none. And I personally prefer to use my library card number. I am not interested in creating a username, but some of you may be more comfortable using something that you kind of have like reflex kind of access to. I know I'm not the kind of person who remembers my library card by heart. And maybe a lot of you also don't remember it by heart. So it may be easier for you to use like a first initial last name as a username instead. It'll give you all of your other information when your library card was created and will expire. And then also you can go ahead and see your contact information and preferences. So contact information, this is going to let you know your home address that you have on file with us, and you're going to go ahead and see the email address and phone numbers. Now, you're not able to update this address field because we do require an in-person presentation of your library residency information. So that's going to be a photo ID with your valid district address. And then additionally, if your ID doesn't have that, maybe a piece of mail. So that's why we don't allow any access to changing the address here, because that is important to the residency aspect of your library card. But you are more than welcome to update email addresses and update phone numbers. You can have up to 3 phone numbers and an alternate email address, just so that if you really want to make sure we can get a hold of you, we can. And then you can also update your preferences here. So preferences, I have mine listed as email address because I definitely am not the kind of person who's going to remember to look at my phone. I don't like to bog down my voicemail with voicemail messages. So I'm very much a person who likes email address. You can do mailing address. However, if you're getting a notice, it's going to take you a lot longer to get your notices if things are overdue or if something's going on or if something's available. So it makes much more sense if you're interested in getting an email address or maybe a phone call. Something that a lot of members aren't aware of is that you can get text messaging as a notification method. And if you go ahead and choose what phone number is a valid phone number that's listed, So let's say you have your phone number as your home phone number as your primary, but as your secondary, you have your cell phone. You can go ahead and choose what corresponding phone is for the text messages. You'll want to go ahead and list the carrier because that's important to our backend vendor to be able to send the text messages. And then you can also choose to get e-receipts. So e-receipts are getting e-receipts for your checkouts. So let's say that you're going up to the adult services desk and you're checking out, let's say, um, a mobile Wi-Fi unit. You'll get an email with your e-receipt rather than having to get a paper copy, or you'll get a paper copy and say you lose it, you'll have an email version as well. But if not, you can also know that you're logging into your account and you'll have access to see that information anyway if you're the kind of person who's using your My Account on our website. Underneath that, you'll also see this tiny little box where you can check mark to maintain reading history. Now, libraries are very much interested in taking and prioritizing your privacy. A lot of members may be under the impression that we keep a record of your reading history automatically, and that's not the case because we don't want to save that information for your privacy. We don't want to have anyone have access to your reading history because that's private and personal to you, and you don't have to share that information. But sometimes people want to be opted into maintaining their reading history because they're avid readers. And if you're an avid reader, then this is going to be really great for you. And we ask that you're the ones who activate and maintain the reading history on your end, just because it is a big privacy concern. So at the Adult Services Desk, we won't be able to activate this for you on our end. We ask that you log into the My Account and click the checkbox here to maintain your reading history. And it's definitely going to go again, that personal data, it's storing your personal information. We want to respect your privacy, so it gives you this disclosure first, so you can either accept it or cancel it. And when you get email notices, you're welcome to choose the type of format, basic plain text or full HTML format. Full HTML format just means that you're going to get it it's going to have like nice font and like nicely spaced, where basic plain text is just going to give you the information you need. It's not going to be anything fancy. I already have automatically check marked, as for you will all as well. Send email reminder notices for all of my overdue and auto renew reminder notices, as well as when my patron record is going to expire. So library cards are valid for 3 years from the date that they're created. And you'll get a notice if this is clicked that will remind you that you need to come in and update your information as well. So that concludes the portion of the contact information and preferences for your account for notifications. And we'll go all the way down here to change logon. So we saw where you could go ahead and create a username and update your password or your PIN. And this is where you can do that. So you can go ahead and click change username and then create a new username, verify the username, and then you can go ahead and change your password from your PIN to an actual password that doesn't have anything to do with the last 4 digits of your phone number. Again, this is a much too left up to you as a decision. I personally like to leave it the way it is, but you definitely have that ability at your discretion. So as we look to the left here, we'll see under my record, which was the area of my account that we were looking at first, we're going to go ahead and look at items out. So you'll see that I currently have 2 items checked out on my library account. Here at the library, I have a digital copy of the Notorious RBG, and then I have another book that I'm using for work right now through interlibrary loan. What's nice is that you can tell under the call number here that this is an e-audiobook that I'm listening to, and the format is through this icon here is through Overdrive. Right next to here, you'll see that we also, this particular item through interlibrary loan has a different call number where it says ILL, and that's how we're going to know what kind of type of format that is. You can do renewal options on this end. and you can go ahead and download the MP3 from within your account as well. But I do personally recommend that you log into your Overdrive account through Libby and do any maintenance there. But this is nice items out in your account. This is a great way for you to keep track of what's checked out to you and the due dates that we expect them to come back. And then it'll let you know what kind of renewals you have left. Typically, most items will have a three-time renewal limit. However, interlibrary loans don't have auto renewals. You do need to reach out to us to renew those. And then an e-audiobook does not renew. It's something that comes off your account and then you just have to go ahead and check it out again. And on the left here, not only do I have items checked out, but I also have items on hold. So we'll go ahead and open items on hold. And I kind of gave us two situations to look at. So right now I requested a book that I'm waiting to come through, and it says requested, and it's requested right away. I just did this, and we want this, and I want this to come as soon as possible. So the status said requested, which means that it's not queued up. No library has offered to fulfill this request. The copy at Indian Trails is not available because I checked, and any other copies at different libraries may be available, but the library hasn't responded to the request to fill it. So that status will change, and you might see it go through a few different phases, but the most important statuses to remember is requested in green, because that's how you know you have an active hold request. And then there is shipped. So if something is coming from another library and it says that it's shipped, it means that it's on its way, it's getting filled by another library, and it's on its way here to our building so it can be ready for pickup. Now, when it says it's shipped, that doesn't mean the item will be here the same day you see it. It's possible it could be, but you don't want to spend your time coming to the library until you see that it says ready for pickup under status. And it'll be very explicit that it's ready for pickup. Another thing that you can see is that underneath, I want to go ahead and check out this graphic novel, but I definitely have a very long to be read list. So I don't want to go ahead and get this graphic novel right away. So what I went ahead and did is I paused the hold request. So what's nice is that the hold is still on my account, but it's not going to be actively attempting to fulfill my request until May 1st. So I can go ahead and select this, and I can pause or resume the hold, and I get to choose the new activation date for the hold. So let's say I don't want to wait till May 5th. I'm maybe getting through my books, very nicely. I'll change it to April 13th instead. And I'll have a new hold request. So you see it's now paused until April 13th. You can go ahead and just completely change it to today's date, and it will go ahead and be requested today, and the computer will do its best to fulfill the request from any of our partner libraries in the consortium. Additionally, while things are in the status of requested or paused, anytime before it's shipped, or any status before it's shipped or before it's ready for pickup, you have the ability to change the pickup location. So let's say you accidentally put something on hold for the Indian Trails Public Library District, and that means you're picking up in the main branch inside. You want to go ahead and change the pickup location to be something different. So a lot of members aren't aware, but you can request items from our library to be available for pickup at all of our partner libraries. So as long as they're part of the CCS shared library group, you'll be able to pick it up there. So if I felt like, hey, on my way home from work, I wanted to go to a library that's much closer to my house, I could change it instead of picking it up here. However, I work here, so it would be a little bit weird to go, pick up a book from another library. That would be less convenient, but that could be different for you. So let's say I want to not pick it up at the main branch, but I want to pick it up at the Prospect Heights branch. If it's easier for you to go to the satellite branch, maybe it's closer to your house. You might be one of those members who live in Prospect Heights, and you're kind of on the fringes of the district. This might be more convenient for you. And then there's also the drive-up window. drive-up window is great, especially if there's accessibility concerns, you may not be as mobile, or also just a time saver. The drive-up window has been very popular, especially with COVID concerns, and it's been the way we've been keeping our circulation thriving through the pandemic as well. So that's a good option if you feel like you do need to change the pickup location. And then you can also go ahead and cancel holds. You just want to highlight them on the left and click cancel selected. Other great information on the left-hand side under my account. Underneath holds, you'll see fines and fees. Underneath fines and fees, you'll see that I don't have any charges or credits or anything on my account. I'm very excited for that. I hope that you're excited that your account doesn't have any charges or fines from us. Quick reminder is that the library is fines free, which means we do not charge any overdue fines or late fines for items. However, if an item is gone for much too long, what will happen is the item gets billed to your account, and so you'll see that as a charge. So let's say you got a DVD out and we have it valued at $20, it'll be billed to you and the charges on your account would be $20. And so this is a great way to keep track of what we think you're financially responsible for on the account. And then another really great feature is saved searches. So you might have let's say a particular author that you're a big fan of, and we'll use somebody who's super popular, let's say Danielle Steele. So if you don't want to have to rebuild that search every single time when you're looking for Danielle Steele books, if you go to search, and we'll just do a basic keyword search, and let's look for Danielle Steele. And we'll go ahead and look at just Indian Trails Library. So library means the main location, and Indian Trails branch means our Prospect Heights branch. And then all member libraries are every library that are in the consortium that are able to fulfill a request. So we'll just leave it at Indian Trails Library, and then I'll go ahead and just redo the search, and we'll go from there. And so let's say I just want to make sure that I never ever get large print books, and I definitely don't want audiobooks. I just want her physical books. So I'll always change it to book format on the left here, and I always want them to be available. I want to know specifically what books of hers anytime I search are going to be available. And then I'm just going to go ahead and leave the rest of these. I might actually just be interested only in the adult books. Maybe I'm not interested in her younger audience books that she may have written. And then I can go ahead and see, this is kind of my favorite search. I'll probably do this very often. After I'm done with maybe Blessing in Disguise, I'll want to move right on to The Good Fight. Who knows? But instead of having to remember and have to go through the filters all the time, you can just click Save Search, and we'll call this Fave Danielle Steele. Whoops. And we'll do, let's say, available now for my notes. All right. And so this is going to be really great. And you can go ahead, and this search will, it's also really cool because what it does is that you can choose how often this search is going to go on. And so you can choose it weekly or monthly, and you can have it do monthly for the next 100 months, which is probably a little intense. Maybe I'll do 12 months, and then I'll save the search. And as it's thinking, we'll wait. My computer's a little slow, I'm sorry. Awesome. So it says your search has been saved. We definitely want to see that. And if you notice on the left, saved searches, and in parentheses 1. So that means I have 1 saved search ready. So I'll go return to my searches here, and if I wanted to continue to do more, that's great. And then let's go ahead and just kind of click back into my account and look at that normal list we're used to. And so yeah, here are my saved searches. You can see the criteria. It's going to be run monthly. It's going to notify me and email that list to me. And you can also see down here under saved searches that I can just click Fave Danielle Steele to go ahead and do some maintenance to it. Also, if I just want to go ahead and click search command, I'll just click search here, and that's just going to allow me to do the search just from within here instead of having to go back and look again and again and again. So that's the purpose, to try to save you time. And especially if you're an avid reader, this is really great for you. So we'll go back to our records here, and last but not least is the My Lists. Now, what's nice with My List is that I mentioned earlier that I have a to be read list, and if you're an avid reader, or if you just have too much on your mind and you don't want to store that much information, this is where you're going to go ahead and go. So to be read, this is a list of graphic novels that I want to read, and I want to just kind of have all together so I don't forget what I want to read or what's upcoming. You guys notice that I have Cosmonites on hold right now, but it's not fulfilled, so I left it on my graphic novel list here. But maybe when I actually get it and I check it out, I'll go back to my list and I'll remove it. And then I can go ahead and continue to add to this list or take away from this list. That is my to be read graphic novels. What's nice is that you can also email this list to yourself. You can choose the formatting. Brief bibliographic just gives you very brief information about the title, the author, and just some information about the format. Full bibliographic is going to give you this big details like the summary and all the extra details maybe that you might be interested in. And then there's also the citations that you can choose: Chicago Manual Style or American Psychology Association, and that's a APA. But those are typically less used. You can also just do a printer friendly and just print the list if you want that to just kind of go on paper for whatever you need it to. And yeah, so I only have this one list right now, but we can go ahead and create a new list. So if we go to, on the left-hand side, you can create a new saved list from the left here, or while you're clicked into a current list, you can also create new saved list, title list. So maybe I don't want a to be read graphic novels list only. I probably want to have a to be read science fiction. I'm a big sci-fi fan personally, so we'll go ahead and create that list here. On the left, you'll see that it's created, TBR sci-fi. And if I go ahead and click on there, I can go ahead and see that the list is created but not populated. So now I can go to search, and let's do keyword search. One of my favorite books is Ancillary Justice. It's a trilogy by Anne Leckie, and I want to go ahead and maybe want to put on my list for a reread. I can see when I do the search that on the right hand side here underneath Find It, More Info, or Place a Hold, I can go ahead and click Add to List. If I click Add to List, it gives me a list of my saved lists, and I can go ahead and add it to sci-fi. And you'll see that it was immediately added. I don't have to leave the search page to add items to my list, which makes it really nice and really convenient, especially if you're going to just start adding a bunch of items to different lists or populate for different lists. Another kind of backing up on topics as we back away from lists, because that's pretty much the full functionality of what lists are. It's really nice. I've used lists for, personally making book displays when I want to compile the information for books I want to, put on display at the library for work. But for you, if you're not working in the library and that's, not your function, but you just want to keep just a nice record of books that you want to read, or, just kind of save things that are on your mind, that's a really great option. So we'll take a step back, and I just want to highlight another feature of, the benefits of logging into your Indian Trails account. Within your account, you have the ability here to place the hold when you're logged in. So this is really important because not only can you see and manage your holds from your account, but you can also place the holds from your account as well. So I want to place the hold for this item here, and you'll see I'm placing a hold for Anne Leckie's Ancillary Justice. you'll see that I'm already logged in with my library card number, and I'm going to choose where I want to pick it up, which is definitely going to be the Indian Trails Public Library District, which means I'm picking up within the main branch. I can use this and click always use this pickup location so you don't have to go through that list all the time. And then the activation date. Activation date is when the request will go through. So if you click for today, that means it's going to go to the queue right away, and we're going to do our best to try to fill that hold as soon as possible. However, I don't want this book right away. I'm going to definitely change the date to, May 1st. Again, I have lots of things I need to read and I don't want it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click Submit Request for May 1st, and you'll see that your request has been placed, and you can go ahead and go to your list of holds and you'll see that it's here. And again, it's paused because it's not actively going to start the hold process until May 1st. So that really is an overall sort of comprehensive look into your My Account when you use the desktop or browser version of your Indian Trails My Account when you're logged in. Don't forget, we also have the mobile application, which we won't cover in this particular video, but I'm sure more content will be coming out in regards to assistance on that particular platform. Really excited that you guys are watching this video, and we hope to see you soon in the library. Thanks and have a great day.